Cat Dharmas. We open a new chapter, a new substream in our wisdom drafts. So there's plenty of worthy material in classical dharmic traditions, both on the Buddhist and the Hindu side of the stream, and it deserves to be leveraged in our today's context of cultivation. I obviously have a significant background dabbling in all of that for decades, and it would be bizarre if it were not to resurface. I have been digging all of that for good reason, right? Then some friends, digging into all of this for a while, they were asking for a mantra. What would be an appropriate mantra? And certainly there are thousands upon thousands of possible mantras, many of them taking you on a particular spin, to a particular deity, or to a particular aspect of your being. Left me pondering, what's a good baseline? And the good baseline that came to me is Tat Sat. We'll get to that. Before we get to the core substance, in due homage, tribute to the origins, from Bhagavad Gita 17:23. Tat Sat iti nirdesho brahmana trivida smrita brahmanastena vedascha jagyascha vihita pura. Then, in a literal rendering, Tat Sat, thus referenced, the Brahman Absolute, in three ways recollected, as the Brahmanas, the spirit-bound priests, the Vedas, scriptures of knowledge, and Yagyas, the reconciling sacrifices. This is how it was operationalized in the ancient days. Here, the ancient days is a back reference of 1,000 years-ish, not a reference to what the priest next door was doing. And today we are taking that reference a couple of thousand years into the future, into our present day, and again looking at the heart of it, the core principle that gave rise to all of these cultures of enlightenment. Doing my homework over a morning coffee, I did take a skim at what's being said out there in glossing or interpreting the simple Tat Sat, and do the interpretations abound, all sorts of spins, all sorts of cobblings together of references, stories being told, and how veiled the simple essence of it all becomes. Even looked at the classical commentaries, Shankara, Avinava Gupta, Madhusudana Sridhara, the rest of the lot, and they do little more than go into a technical explanation of the verse. So let's get back to the baselines, to the core basics. First of all, of Tat Sat, Om in itself, also called Pranava, the vibration of the breath of life. We have the unified field that is active, a field with potential vibration, resonance, that gives rise to all of these formations. That's the ground of being, Om. Then Tat. Tat is a simple pronoun, this or that, indicating an expressed object. And that's all. Recognize it's there. We have a manifest world. Whatever that it is, that's what it is. Tat. Then Sat. Truth, actuality. It is what it is, beyond your projections, beyond your illusions. What is in its living essence, in its dynamism, as it is, simply, on the unified field of potential emergence. Tat, whatever the formations that have come into being, and Sat, their persistent, perennial nature, beyond your opinions and reactions. As they are, we engage them. Then to reference the Bhagavad Gita, the Tat Sat, threefold gloss of the Absolute, as the Brahmanas, the spirit-bound priests, as the Vedas, the scriptures of knowledge, and the Yagyas, the sacrifices, oblations of reconciliation. It's a clear lay of the land there. We have the conscious human embodiment, instance of the universe, Om as it resonates in a human frame. Then Tat, or that. We have the corpus of descriptions of what is, delineating the knowledge inherent to all things, their axioms, their principles, their dynamisms, their nature as it is. Veda, the innate knowledge in all things, not theorems, not hypotheticals. At times, yes, symbols and paintings to make it more accessible, but born of the what is, the form itself, as it was born, created, as it became. That's the baseline, and that is the scripture, the book of life. Where Tat, or that, a simple pronoun, is more of a neutral baseline fabric of being. Sat, truth, actuality, ships with more of a connotation. It has an active presence. We are present in what is, and the what is indicates the direction of things to come, prompts us into action, into acts of reconciliation, harmonization. The truth calling upon us, will we engage? Then Om, the unified potential field, and Tat, the formations that come to be, and Sat, their presence in your field of experience, their invocation, the truth calling for you. Will you engage? Be a sadhu, or will you turn from Sat to Asat, the unreal, your illusions? That's the choice we land in, with Sat, drawing from the Tat. The Tat is a neutral base, and the Sat is our abiding in truth. In other classics related, Asato ma satgamaya, away from the illusions, into actuality. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, from the darkness into radiance. Mrityorma amritam gamaya, from the morbid into immortality. Then Sadhu is not a fellow with funny robes and a long beard. Sadhu is the one who is bound to Sat, the present actuality that leads us back to Om, the potential unified field. Through Tat, whatever that is, that's all there, and all of it we engage in our reconciliation, in our convergence, returning back home. There's another triad that relates. Om Tat Sat, that's the core baseline, and Sat Cit Anandam, that's the fluffing out of the absolute when engaged. Sat, the present actuality, Chit, the clear recognition, the conscious power, and Anandam, the unified bliss, returning to the field of all that is as a complete whole. Om Tat Sat, from the unified field into what is, into the present calling of truth, and again from that Sat into Chit, the radiant cognizance, and Anandam, the reconciled bliss, in returning to the unified field. Om Tat Sat is the descendant, and Sat Cit Anandam is the ascendant. One might bundle these together into a 5-part recitation. Om Tat Sat Chidanandam, Om Tat Sat Chidanandam, Om Tat Sat Chidanandam. So it's not a rhyme that I intend to drop for anyone. Om Tat Sat is plenty. How awkward, given my name. The conflict of interest. Not really, but awkward. Beyond that, the whole practical cultivation, philosophy and methodology of mantras, how it churns your brain toward higher and higher level interpretive models, creates nexuses in your awareness that help in the rewinding of your entire phenomenal reality back home through clarified windows of more and more subtle grades. That's a tale for another time. Plenty for now. Be well.